Are you frustrated that your paintings all seem flat and don't have that oomph that you want to create? That could be coming from a lack of contrast. But contrast doesn't only refer to dark versus light. In painting, contrast refers to how you differentiate between objects, distances, and areas within your painting, and how you create your focal point. In this lesson, we're going to explore 4 different methods you can mix and match to create contrast that will elevate your paintings from dull and disappointing to dynamic and delightful. Of course, I go much deeper into this topic on my Patreon, but this shortened lesson will still give you a good overview of what to practice. Grab your pastels and paper, and let's head over to the easel and get dusty. All right, welcome. So we're going to talk about creating contrast in our paintings. And typically when we think about contrast, I think a lot of us default to thinking about value, but there's actually 4 different ways I'm going to show you here how to create contrast. So value is definitely an important way to build contrast. Another way is through our colors. The next way is through saturation. And then the 4th way I want to talk about is through focus. So all of these ways can help you build contrast in your paintings, and you can use 1 or 2 or all of these within the same painting to help you create contrast and draw the eye to certain areas. So the first thing I'm going to show you is value. So value means dark and light. So I'm going to use all blues here. So we're going to create contrast by having an area of dark and then a mid-tone and a lighter tone, and then getting some more dark in there. Okay. So now we've built contrast between these areas. That, like I said, that's usually the thing most people think about when they think about contrast. And if you're working on a painting and you have a reference photo that's really flat, which we're actually going to be doing after I get through these 4 little pieces here, we're going to go over to this paper behind and we're going to paint using a reference photo that's super flat. It doesn't have much difference in value. It also doesn't have a lot of difference in color or saturation, and there's no focal point. So I'm going to show you after I go through this how I deal with a reference image like that. Okay, so again, value. So if you are working with a reference that does not have a lot of value, differentiation, you can easily change your contrast in your app. If you're using, Photos app on your phone, or you're using like Photoshop or something like that, all you have to do is ramp up the contrast. And what that's going to do is make your darks darker and your lights lighter. So there will be more differentiation. And this is great for photos that were taken on cloudy days or just, things that don't have a lot of difference in their value. Okay, so that's our kind of our easiest go-to is making dark areas darker and light areas lighter. All right, let's talk about color. So I'm going to show the color wheel here. So another great way to create contrast is to use complementary colors on your color wheel. So I have pulled out a red, orange, and a blue, green. I'm going to show you here in a minute. So these are opposite each other on the color wheel. And when complementary colors are next to each other or scattered throughout a painting, they will create vibration. And that vibration will then create this feeling of contrast. So if I put these 2 next to each other, not doing the best job here of not overlapping, and they're the same value or very close in value, the camera's probably not picking this up really well right now, but where these 2 are touching, not where they overlapped up here where I messed that up, but here where they're touching, it feels like it's vibrating. There is this bright contrast happening. So if you start painting and you get, your colors where you have the same or very close values and you start using complementary colors, you're going to start feeling a vibration, which is going to create this contrast. And this works. They don't have to be super bright like that. You can use lighter colors, you can use darker colors, anything where they are complementary on your color wheel and the same value, you're going to get this vibration, this nice contrast. Of course, I go much deeper into all the techniques I use in this lesson inside my Pastel Growth Studio on Patreon. My members not only get full lessons, but also full product evaluations, step-by-step how-tos for your most pressing pastel questions, fun monthly challenges, and behind-the-scenes looks. I would love to welcome you to the family. I'm offering a 7-day free trial, and it's only $5 a month after that. I'll put the link in the description. All right, now let's talk about saturation. This is another great way to create contrast. So if we just have some of these colors down, they're kind of desaturated, right? They're more towards gray. And then we come in with a color that's higher chroma, meaning it is more saturated. There is a lot more color here than in these grays. It's going to pop out. So saturation is a good way to create contrast. So if you have areas that are desaturated and then you drop in a pop of color, it doesn't really matter what color it is. But if you put in a spot of color around your desaturated colors, you're going to create really vivid contrast. And then our last one is focus. So we can create contrast by having some areas of our painting out of focus and other areas in focus. So that's going to be a little harder for me to demonstrate here in this small little spot. We'll definitely see it more in the full painting that I'm going to do here in a second. But let's just pretend that I have, this background, and I'm going to blend it together, make it blurry. And then I'm going to come in with a color I just used and put that on top. And then if I even come back in with the same blue and put that on top. So now we have these two things which have sharp lines, and then we have the area behind that's blurry. So that's another way to create contrast is with your edges and how and when and where you choose to blur things out in your painting. All right, so we're going to move into a practical demo. So let me get this off and get me set up for the demo. I'll be back in a second. Okay, let's start out with value. So these trees in the background are really the only place in the photo that have any kind of darker values and lighter values, but I'm going to kind of amp that up a little bit. So I'm bringing in some darker blues, first of all, into the water to give the water a little bit more contrast. And now in the trees, I am bringing in more darks than are actually in the trees in the photo. And then when I bring in my lights, they're quite a bit lighter than what's in the photo. So using more extreme ends of the value spectrum here with my lights and darks, and just continuously layering back and forth to create the effect that I want with my values. So don't be afraid to come back in and go back over top of what you put in, because as you can see here, a lot of my light values disappeared. So bringing them back in. Now we're going to use focus as our next contrast. So I am blurring the top edges of those trees. And I did that to try and create the illusion that they're further back in the scene. It's a little hard to tell with this little tiny painting that, it's a big hillside going back and I'm not really putting in a ton of detail here. But if you blur things, they will appear to recede or be further back in the distance. Now I am bringing in an extra color here in the tree line at the top to create some sky holes. Again, this is not in the photo, but you don't always have to follow your photos. You know, you can improvise to make your painting more interesting than the photo. So by putting that little bit of blue at the top, it's just created another area of interest instead of having the trees just run straight off the page. I'm sketching in the boats using white. This is what's in the photo, and we can see the boats don't really stand out. They're not very interesting. But since our water is desaturated shade of blue, I'm going to use saturation here to create contrast. So I'm bringing in this vibrant shade of red, reddish orange. And you'll see here with this blue boat that I put in, now I have two competing contrasty areas that are competing for attention. So if you're trying to create your focal point with contrast, make sure it's the only thing. Now I just created another focal point. This time I was using color, using the complementary value there for that pink spot. And now I have two competing focal points. So, you know, if I cover up the one on the left, the boat stands out. If I cover up the one on the right, then the pink spot stands out. So the key to using contrast in a painting is to really, you can use all four of them throughout a painting, but whichever method you're going to use for your focal point, you want to make sure you don't have other competing things. So here I'm adding more of those pink spots into the background. And now what's happening is it's kind of reducing that pink, the original pink spot I put in, and it's not a focal point anymore. Now the boat is standing out again. So use your contrast techniques to your advantage to help point the viewer to where you want them to look in the painting and also help bring their eyes around the painting. So I hope this was helpful for you, and I will see you next time. Take care.